In the Holy Quran it says not to worship idols, worship Allah alone. Then why, when we perform Hajj, we walk around the Kaba? Isn't that idol worshipping?
No. It is not idol worshipping, because we do not consider Kaba to be an object of worship at all. We do not consider the stone which we kiss as a symbol of worship, and we do not kiss that stone because we consider it to possess any divine powers at all. Khana Kaba is just a building of stone. So it is a question of what you consider it to be. If Khana Kaba is considered to be only a home made of stones, then how could it be an object of worship at all? As far as the direction is concerned, it has a different symbolic meaning. And the Holy Quran has already explained it in relation to your facing towards Kaaba. It says that practically, if you study the philosophy of Islam, you will find that Islam wants unity. Unity so perfect that as we believe in God to be one, under Him, all those who believe in the unity of God should also become one. And as a symbol of oneness, when they stand in prayers, they should always face in the same direction, wherever they are. So, if a direction was to be chosen, the question would be which direction? And whichever direction was fixed, people could ask, why this direction, why not that? So turn whichever way you may, the question will not leave you. Why this? But in the choice of Kaaba, we have a very significant philosophy which makes it different from all other possible directions. That is why it is not a symbol of worship, it is a symbol of oneness of God. Khana Kaaba and its philosophy are discussed in the Holy Quran in various verses. And from that I gather a few points to help you understand this, because I know some people may be asking you and other similar questions, and you should be fully armed against these allegations. Khana Kaba, according to the Holy Quran, was the first ever house which was built for the unification of mankind. So the significance of the house is unification of mankind. Inna awwala baytin wudi'a lin-nasi lalladhi bi Bakkata. The very first house that was ever made for the benefit of mankind, not Islam, not any religion, mankind, was the one built in Makkah, which was called in those days not Makkah but Bakka. So it shows its being very ancient house. So the purpose is obviously apparent, to unify mankind. But how? Other verses throw light on that, and we know that the unification of man could only be around the idea of unity of God. So the same house is mentioned as house of God. Not that Allah lives there, but because the very first house which was built for the worship of God was also the same house. Now this is an incident this is something which happened so far away back in history, that the Holy Quran does not tell us the detail as to who built this house in the first place. But the Holy Quran refers to this house as the most ancient house, Baitul Atiq. From that I infer that this was the first sign of civilization of man. It was this house which taught man how to live above the surface of the earth to come out from the caves. So the caveman was first taught to live in a built abode like the Kaba, and the first purpose was the first civilization began from this. So this is both a symbol of the unity of mankind, a symbol of the unity of God. So if any place, any direction is to be fixed, it has the prior right over every other direction. This direction reminds you of oneness of mankind. This direction reminds you of oneness of God. As such, it is impossible to relate it to any concept of idol worship, even so remotely. It's impossible. Secondly, the Holy Quran further explains the object of this direction towards Kaba and tells us that remember this, God is not there. Don't misinterpret the word Baitullah as the house of God where you will see God residing. The Holy Quran says, exactly discussing the same subject, Ainama tawallu fathamma wajhullah. Remember, in whichever direction you turn, there would be Allah. So you can't run away from God. Wherever you look, there will be God. So God is not in Kaba itself. After this explanation, the only meaning left is to Kaba is a symbolic presence, no more. Not of God, but of the unity of God.